Hi friends, or should I say hi besties, as my coach will say. We are besties because we are cheering each other on to victory. So as I continue to map my personal development journey, I'm realizing there are a lot of highs and lows. Sometimes I am on the mountaintop saying, yes girl, you got this. And then another time I'm in the valley saying, oh poor me, I cannot do this. But I'm realizing the challenges, they are building character in me. And I am going to get this done. Last time I was here, I was sharing, I had reached the point where my husband left and he took certain things, necessities. And it was a struggle. There were days, we didn't have things to eat. I remember my girls, I had eventually signed them up in a school where they would learning to do cosmetology. And sometimes the box lunch that they bring home were what we would use. And one of the teachers, she was such a sweetheart. She would make sure that, these children have box lunches to bring home to us. And even though we had the box lunch, we have no refrigerator, so whatever we got, we had to utilize it. And the struggle was real. But as I say, I am understanding, I was developing character in the process. And as I went along, well, the thing with me, I am creative. And, I may be down for a little bit, but then I would get up and I would start coming up with ideas and what I can do. And I did little catering courses. So there's the neighbor next door. She had a shop and she knew what was happening. So she decided, she said, would you like to run the shop? Well, of course I had to pay her rent. So I ran the shop for a while and everything was going pretty well, but it was not a great profit. And in those times, I remember I would sit and I will read to pass the time because, they would have the busy time and the slow time during the time of the day. And I will read, and there's this book that I had, it's the 17 principle of the Think and Grow Rich book. And I really got caught up in that, and that's where my journey started into personal development. When I read some of the things that I have to get done, like I was supposed to develop a certain type of personality. I have to learn to network with people, and that really helped me because the person that I was always, because of low self-esteem, you always tend to shy away from a lot of things and always want to be in the background. But this time was survival for me. So I used to bake pone, I used to make sweet bread, I used to do lunches, and I will have to approach people and let them know, well, I am doing such and such, and I would like you to purchase or patronize. And I had to come out of that low self-esteem in order to get things done. And that's how, things wasn't perfect. I couldn't always meet the rent. There are times, actually I had to leave places where I didn't clear off my rent. But I knew that was God's hand in it, that, nobody ever bothered me about it. God was taking care of me, and that's another thing. I always have faith. I always believed, I had something I was holding on to. I believe God will always see me through, and I always have that positive perspective. Until my children always tell me that, Mommy, you always are optimist, So that's me, and I'm thanking God that He gave me that, because that's one of the character that kept my sanity, and keep me believing and keep me going. And I really want to thank God, for bringing me through from where I was. I'm not where I want to be, but I know definitely I'm not where I was. And God, He saw me through each time. And eventually, well, my daughter, she sat SE, she passed for a pretty good school. Well, now she's a young lady, she's in her 20s. But all in all, God is good. So I just want to encourage somebody, regardless of what you are going through, remember, God is always there. You just have to have faith and He will make a way.